us humans want to belong. You know, we're born with this innate thing, this innate feeling of wanting to belong somewhere with the right people that feel in alignment with us. You know, the people that are doing the things we want to do, or at least accept us. We want to be accepted, us humans. We want to feel like we're in the right places and around the right people that make us feel like we're valued or we're seen and everything else. You know, it's a natural thing. Yet how many people actually are in that situation? And I know that there's many that probably aren't. You know, they might find themselves in situations or around certain people or in a certain town or a certain city where deep down they kind of know, like, why am I not feeling like this is me? Why am I not feeling like I belong in this place? And we kind of trick ourselves. We kind of make ourselves, we mold to certain situations, and we try and get ourselves to fit in, and kind of like convince ourselves that it's something wrong with us. You know, that all these people are doing this thing, and I should be doing that thing. You know, because sometimes it's not even that you're looking down at the people you're with, or the people you're around, or the people that are in your town, or the things that they're doing. You might even admire what they're doing. Yet, still, it just doesn't quite feel like you. It doesn't quite feel like that's the thing that you should be doing. And we can go through this process of like molding ourselves to try and fit in, or encourage ourselves to fit in, and bring these aspects out of ourselves that change us in a way, but allow us to adapt, allow us to mold and fit in, and be around the people that, as I said, maybe we're admiring what they're doing, but it still doesn't kind of feel like us. But we keep going anyway. We keep fitting in. We're trying to settle, making ourselves feel like in the future by keep surrounding ourselves by it, or trying to be that thing that we might actually become it. And this might happen. You know, you might find yourself this way. You might actually find yourself this way, and come a long way in your journey of feeling like, wow, you know, I've really grown as a person, and these people were good for me. As I said, it's not that the people are bad. It's not that the situation's bad. But sometimes you can just feel deep down that it's not you. You know, and that's your intuition telling you that, this isn't for me. You know, this is not what I should be doing. This isn't where I'm meant to be. And that can be a difficult one, you know, because not always are your circumstances aligned for you to up sticks and move. Some of us are in that position, some of us aren't, where you can just change and put yourself in a new location. You could be quite young, you know, you might not have the money to move, and you've always been in this one place, or you've found yourself in a new place and you've got to be there for a certain period of time. It might be for work, it might be for the certain projects you're running. And we have this ability, you know, as humans, to sort of like mask ourselves and come out and pretend that that's who we are. And sometimes we're doing this without even realising that we're pretending. You know, we're trying to trick ourselves. Yet deep down, that thing's still there. The intuition's still kind of telling you, trying to tell you, like, this isn't you, man. This isn't you. What do you do in this situation? You know, what do you do? As I said, maybe you mould over years. Maybe you stay in it and trick yourself that you're the problem. But you're probably not. And how else is your body meant to tell you? You know, how else is your intuition meant to tell you, if it's not for that gut feeling, that deep thing inside that's kind of just making you feel like something's not right, you know? And even though I admire this place, even though I admire these people and what they're doing's great, what they're doing's good, I admire them for being able to do this and be that part of themselves, but it's not me. And that's all right, you know, it's all right that it's not you. It really is. As I said, we mould ourselves and we go through this journey trying to fit in, trying to find where we belong. And that can be difficult, you know. Start convincing yourself that you're the problem, you know. But as long as you just don't go changing, that's what I'd say. If it's a journey where you need to bring that part out of yourself for growth, and you're actually uncovering what your true self is, and that's different. You know, there's some growth to be had there, and these people, these circumstances, this environment might help you do that. But if it's not, and you've got that intuition deep down still quite loud where it's saying, something's not right, it's not lining up, this is not who I want to be, this is not where I want to be, this is not what I want to be surrounded by, then don't go changing. Don't go changing, especially if those situations aren't in alignment with your values. If you see yourself as someone that's like destined for more, you know, then don't go changing, and listen to that intuition. And this might require you to go into a period of time where you're actually in solitude more often, pulling away from the things where you found yourself previously. And then you actually start listening to that thing in you that thinks, no, I'm not going to mold myself. I'm not going to change myself. I'm not going to ask that of myself. I'm going to keep being me. I'm going to keep in alignment with my values. And you're going to go through this period of maybe being on your own more, time with self, which isn't a bad thing. This is where we learn about ourselves, like time with self is powerful. If you go through a period of time where you're have a lot of reflection and you can sit with yourself and learn about your character, this is huge, and not everyone gets this. Sometimes life demands so much for people. We are caught up in everything that's going on and all the positive things that are going on around us and the demands of life. You have never actually get that time. Many don't actually get that time to actually sit with themselves, and then this can be over some years, but what you'd learn in your character, the character growth you'll have in that period of learning who you actually are, or at least who you are at this point in your life, is something we should be grateful for and not feared, or not think that we're wrong for spending time on our own. But there will come a point, if you actually listen to that intuition and you even take yourself away from those situations that don't feel like they're in alignment or don't feel like they're your true self, there will come a point where life catches up. And that will happen if you're honouring that feeling and honouring your true self and your values, and accepting that, okay, even though I admire this or I don't like this or whatever else, and you take yourself away and you listen to it, even without knowing where it's going to lead you, but you listen to it. As I said, it might lead you to some time on your own and some time inward, which is a positive thing, as long as it's not too long. I think we know when we've had too long in that, we start losing perspective of things and you can't go crazy with it, We do need humans around us, we do need connection, we do need socialising, it's important. But that's why you'll feel it when it's not right, when it's not the right connection, when it's not the right type of socialising, or it's not the right location for you to be. But if you listen to your values and you listen to that intuition and you honour it and you think, okay, I'm not going to mould myself anymore, I'm not going to try and fit in, I'm not going to trick myself that there's something wrong with me, I'm going to kind of stand true to who I am and listen to this feeling, take myself away, and do the things that you know that you are, do the things that are in alignment with your true self, where you are being yourself, where you're not moulding yourself. And you're going to put yourself on this vibration, you're going to put yourself on the vibration of what you're looking to match. And by doing this, by taking yourself away and standing true, you will find that match. It might take some time, it might take years, but you'll appreciate it when it comes. You really, really will, because you'll be able to know what it's like to not have that thing where you feel like you belong, to not have those people where you feel like these are the guys, man. These are the people that I've also always wondered if they exist. I never knew where they were. And they might be that they were around the whole time. You just weren't on that vibration. You were just diving into different things and being drawn to different things, and you had to learn that, you had to experience that. But now you can see that they're there and they're coming to you, and you're being seen for who you are, and you're doing the things that you want to do that have always been, that have felt true to you. And this is the power when you actually listen to your intuition and accept that maybe there's nothing wrong with me, it's just that my body's trying to tell me, and how else would it tell me that there's something else destined for me, there's more for me to give, and there's more places for me to belong that are right for me. And this will be a nice feeling, and you'll thrive in this feeling. You'll look back at the time where you didn't have it and you think, wow, I was there, I was in that place of confusion and wondering why things weren't lining up, or I weren't feeling connected and I weren't feeling like I belonged. And you'll compare that to where you are once you found the people, you found the place, you found the things you should be doing that maybe you knew all along, maybe you didn't know, maybe it was not knowing that was part of the confusion. And then there becomes a point where you unlock that and you find it, and the people come, the things come that are in alignment with that lifestyle and that part of you, So just keep being you, especially if your values are hindered. Keep being you. That's what this is all about. You'll appreciate it when it finds you, and in the meantime, enjoy some solitude, right? Enjoy some solitude and stay on the vibration of the thing that you want to bring in, because that's what we should be. And we know with law of attraction, we know with this sort of thing, a lot of it's about vibration. Stay true. Be the thing that you know you are. The things that do feel right, the things that don't spark that conflict inside of you. As I said, it might even be that you like the people you're around, you like the things they get up to, but it's not you. And listen to that and accept that. And that's going to open up for those matches to be found, for you to actually find your true thing, or for you to attract the things that you actually want to be doing, and you will appreciate it when it comes. Listen to the things that don't feel right, because it's your soul, it's your intuition shouting at you for change, or for you to hear that this isn't for you. Maybe you're destined for more, you're destined for other things, and it's just a matter of time before you're on that path. Don't be scared of time on your own. Don't be scared of time for you to figure out your character traits when you actually sit with yourself and let go of all the distractions of what everyone else is doing, because there's growth in that, you know. As I said, it can be a gift, because some people never actually get that opportunity to explore it. Maybe they've got responsibilities from young, or they're drawn in these different places, you know. There's nothing wrong with you. Trust the process. Trust the process. And you'll get there. You'll get to that place. And as I said, it might take years, but that's okay, because you'll appreciate it when it comes. Keep listening to yourself. That's the main thing. As long as you're listening to yourself, rather than ignoring yourself, ignoring the things, because sometimes it can be quite subtle, and it's not that it's not that you're going to be pushed out. You can keep going along with something that doesn't quite feel right for years and years and years before you get to the point where you actually realise this wasn't right all along. These weren't the right people, these weren't the right activities, these weren't the right things. And if you know you're destined for more, if you know that these things aren't in alignment with where you're heading, then it can be easier to pull yourself away. I think for those that don't know where they're heading, they're confused, it's hard to pull themselves away then. And then all you've got then is that feeling inside that I mentioned, that feeling where you're being told, but it's easier to ignore it. It's easier to convince yourself that you're part of the problem, and just to mould yourself to keep going. You might fit in eventually, but if that's the only thing you've got to listen to, if that's the only thing you've got to tell you that you're not on the right path, or you're not in the right places, then listen to it, trust it, give it a go. You know what happens when you take a step back, isolate for a bit, and not to isolate in a sense where you're rejecting communication or support or anything like that, but isolate from the things that don't feel right, from the things that aren't making you feel like you belong in the right way, in your true self, for you to be valued and connected without forcing it, being connected with ease. We've all got it. We've all got that thing. We've all got that place. And sometimes it is a place, sometimes it's a change of location, or you might change your location thinking that the people are going to be there, and you get there and again you think, oh, this is great what everyone's doing, but it's not me. And that can be a difficult place, because we all want to belong. So stay true, keep listening to yourself, don't be afraid of some solitude and some time within, just to sit with yourself in the meantime before your people come. Because when they do come, you're probably going to be busy. You're probably going to always have people that are ready to meet, or to start projects, or to work on things, to socialise. You'll probably be busy, and then you'll be grateful for the time that you've got on your own. But that's the beauty in life, you know, when you find the right circles, when you find the right places, when you find the right things, everything starts clicking, everything starts flowing. And that feeling of not quite belonging, or knowing what's wrong, is a thing of the past. And once you've had that, you'll then experience the knowing of what it's like to fully know, to fully be confident in that, like that this isn't right for me, because you will have had the contrast of being confused by that to then finding it. And once you found it, and you found those people, you found when things are clicking, when things are right, when you're not moulding yourself, you're just being yourself. And then you have that to work with in future situations, because life's going to bring these different chapters, you know. Maybe once you find it, you've got it forever, or you might just find it for a period of life, or a few years before things change again. Your vision changes, maybe they change, the place where you're at changes. This is a part of adapting, isn't it? It's a part of rolling with it, rolling with life and what life throws at us. That's some truth. The notification ring true with the truth. Okay, I'll leave it there. My phone's dinging off. I'm gonna leave it there. But don't go changing. Stay true, and don't be afraid of some time in solitude to then be the vibration that you're wanting to be, and what you're wanting to match. And once you do that, and once you listen to that, you can be the vibration, and that will come. Because whilst you're trying to mold yourself, whilst you're trying to fit in, whilst you're ignoring that feeling of not belonging, you're not going to match the thing that you actually do want. Love yourself, look after yourself, be kind to yourself. It can be hard when you don't feel like you belong, but you do belong. It's just finding the right people, the right circles, the right places, and that can be coming in a future chapter. And this is for you just to sit with yourself a bit more, learn your character, and that's a gift in itself, as I said. Enjoy it.